Hello, my name is Anthony McGrath, and I'm from County Tipperary. I was raised Catholic. My family went to Mass often, and as a child, I talked to God in a very simple way. I knew He loved me. I was a normal young lad who loved tractors, diggers, and anything with an engine. I always liked working with my hands, and eventually I became a mechanic. But even from a young age, there were things that shaped how I saw myself, God and the world. I went through abuse that I didn't know how to deal with. I pushed it down and tried to pretend it didn't affect me, but it did. Then when I was still young, my best friend died suddenly. He was like family to me. Losing him left a hole in my heart that I didn't know how to fill. I didn't have the tools to deal with grief or trauma. So I tried to bury everything. I tried to numb myself. As a teenager, I developed unhealthy ways of coping. I drank, smoked, and I struggled in school. I spent most of those years trying to escape from the pain inside me. I floated through life without thinking too deeply about anything. I believed that if I could just get a job, make money, buy a house, and settle down, then I'd be happy. That was the plan. That was what I thought life was about. When I was 14, I met a girl and we stayed together for 6 years. Being in a relationship made it easier to pretend everything was fine. But underneath, I was still hurting. I dropped out of school at 17 and trained as a mechanic. I loved mechanics, but at the point, money had become my new god. I bought a house and moved into it at 21. From the outside, it looked like I had everything: a girlfriend, a job, a house, money. I thought I was ahead of schedule in life, but inside I was falling apart. I wasn't dealing with my past. I was working long hours, drinking heavily, and isolating myself from family and friends. I was angry, bitter, and empty. I started to wonder if there was anything more to life. Sometimes I even wondered if life was worth living at all. Everything changed when I developed a tumor on my leg. The pain was constant and severe. It affected my ability to walk and kept me awake at night. I ignored it for 2 years before finally going to the doctor. During COVID, when I went for a biopsy, there was no anesthetic available. I didn't care at the time. I didn't care about myself. But the pain was so intense that it became hysterical, laughing and crying at the same time. And in the middle of that pain, I had a moment of clarity. I realized I could die. And in that moment, I knew deep down that if I died, I wouldn't be going to heaven. I can't really fully explain it, but I suddenly understood that the pain I was feeling was nothing compared to the pain of being separated from God forever. That thought shook me. Thank God the tumor was being benign, but after the surgery, I was bedridden for 6 months. My girlfriend helped care for me, and I am grateful for that. But I spent long hours alone, thinking about my life. In the silence, I knew something had to change. The first big change was ending the relationship. I knew in my heart it wasn't right, even though it caused a lot of grief. And like always, I pushed down the emotions and went back to drinking and working even harder. But the emptiness only grew. I reached a very dark place: no hope, no love, completely numb. I began having suicidal thoughts. I started searching for God again, asking if He was real. One night after drinking heavily, I felt something in my heart. It was God trying to get my attention. I didn't know what to do with it, so I tried to ignore it. The same thing happened the next night and the night after that. On the third night, I felt Jesus say in my heart, "Come and see me." The only place I knew to find Him was the church. So I left the pub and walked to the local Catholic church. It was around midnight. The doors were locked, but I knew Jesus was inside. So I knelt outside on the ground and I begged God to show me that He was real and that He loved me. I cried and prayed for hours, and something changed deep inside. Something shifted. I encountered God's love in a way I can't fully describe. Everything in my life looked the same, but inside everything was different. I wanted to know God. I wanted to understand who Jesus really was. I wanted the truth. I started watching Catholic videos online, especially Father Chris Ayler, who made things make sense to me. I went back to Mass, but I still felt deep pain in my heart, and I wanted more. I remember the Franciscan friars of the Renewal in Limerick, the monks of Myros. I went to them with questions, and they guided me through them. Jesus softened my heart. He showed me how to surrender my pain and let him heal me. I started making changes in my life, like instead of spending my Friday nights getting drunk in the pub, I'd come and spend the time in adoration. I began to hear God leading me and convicting me much more clearly. I wanted more, so I started working only 4 days a week, and I spent the other day with Jesus in adoration. This is when things really began to change. Life began to make sense. I realized life wasn't just about working and making money and dying. God had a purpose for me. He could use me to help others. I started volunteering with a youth group in Limerick, and it opened my eyes to how much people can care. It softened my heart even more and helped me let go of past hurts. My image of God has changed. I had always seen him as a distant and harsh, but I came to know him as a gentle, loving Father who would go to the ends of the earth for me. I wanted to know him more. I felt like I had wasted so much time, and I wanted to get back on track. Eventually, God put a desire in my heart to do a mission year on a pilgrimage to Medjugorje. Someone told me about Holy Family Mission. It felt right, so I applied, and here I am. Being here has brought so much healing. It has helped me remember the good in my life, like the love of my grandmother when I was young. It has helped me see marriage as something beautiful and holy, not something to fear. Through community life and personal growth, I've been able to face the pain of my past and let God heal it. And he has done that through the people around me. I stand here today because God rescued me. He found me in a dark place, and he didn't give up on me. He called me back to himself. He showed me that I am loved, that my life has meaning.